The tree of liberty must be refreshed from time to time, with the blood of patriots and tyrants. Honesty is the first chapter in the book of wisdom. I like the dreams of the future better than the history of the past. Nothing can stop the man with the right mental attitude from achieving his goal. Nothing on earth can help the man with the wrong mental attitude. In matters of style, swim with the current. In matters of principle, stand like a rock. I tremble for my country when I reflect that God is just, that his justice cannot sleep forever. Question with boldness even the existence of a God, because, if there be one, he must more approve of the homage of reason than that of blindfolded fear. I have sworn upon the altar of God eternal hostility against every form of tyranny over the mind of man. The care of human life and happiness, and not their destruction, is the first and only object of good government. Never spend your money before you have earned it. When angry, count to 10 before you speak. If very angry, count to 100. Timid men prefer the calm of despotism to the tempestuous sea of liberty. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Rightful liberty is unobstructed action, according to our will within limits drawn around us by the equal rights of others. I do not add within the limits of the law, because law is often but the tyrant's will, and always so when it violates the rights of the individual. The man who reads nothing at all is better educated than the man who reads nothing but newspapers. Do you want to know who you are? Don't ask, act. Action will delineate and define you. I never considered a difference of opinion in politics, in religion, in philosophy, as cause for withdrawing from a friend. Nothing gives one person so much advantage over another as to remain always cool and unruffled under all circumstances. Mankind are more disposed to suffer, while evils are sufferable, than to right themselves by abolishing the forms to which they are accustomed. Peace, commerce, and honest friendship with all nations, entangling alliances with none. I hope we shall crush in its birth the aristocracy of our moneyed corporations, which dare already to challenge our government to a trial by strength, and bid defiance to the laws of our country. One man with courage is a majority. When we get piled upon one another in large cities, as in Europe, we shall become as corrupt as Europe. Whenever the people are well informed, they can be trusted with their own government. Walking is the best possible exercise. Habituate yourself to walk very far. Whenever you do a thing, act as if all the world were watching. Experience hath shewn that even under the best forms of government, those entrusted with power have, in time, and by slow operations, perverted it into tyranny. How much pain they have cost us, the evils which have never happened. I believe that every human mind feels pleasure in doing good to another. Don't talk about what you have done or what you are going to do. Educate and inform the whole mass of the people. They are the only sure reliance for the preservation of our liberty. If a nation expects to be ignorant and free, in a state of civilization, it expects what never was and never will be. Determined never to be idle, no person will have occasion to complain of the want of time who never loses any. It is wonderful how much may be done if we are always doing. A Bill of Rights is what the people are entitled to against every government, and what no just government should refuse, or rest on inference. Sometimes it is said that man cannot be trusted with the government of himself. Can he then be trusted with the government of others? Or have we found angels in the form of kings to govern him? Let history answer this question. No occupation is so delightful to me as the culture of the earth, and no culture comparable to that of the garden. It is neither wealth nor splendor, but tranquility and occupation which give you happiness. The most successful war seldom pays for its losses. He who knows best knows how little he knows. Money, not morality, is the principal commerce of civilized nations. Our greatest happiness does not depend on the condition of life in which chance has placed us, but is always the result of a good conscience, good health, occupation, and freedom in all just pursuits. It is incumbent on every generation to pay its own debts as it goes, a principle which, if acted on, would save one half the wars of the world. A wise and frugal government, which shall restrain men from injuring one another, shall leave them otherwise free to regulate their own pursuits of industry and improvement, and shall not take from the mouth of labor the bread it has earned. The Republican is the only form of government which is not eternally at open or secret war with the rights of mankind. He who knows nothing is closer to the truth than he whose mind is filled with falsehoods and errors. All, too, will bear in mind this sacred principle, that though the will of the majority in all cases to prevail, that will to be rightful must be reasonable, that the minority possess their equal rights, which equal law must protect, and to violate would be oppression. But friendship is precious, not only in the shade, but in the sunshine of life, and, thanks to a benevolent arrangement, the greater part of life is sunshine. Do not bite at the bait of pleasure, till you know there is no hook beneath it. That government is the strongest of which every man feels himself a part. History, in general, only informs us of what bad government is. Peace and friendship with all mankind is our wisest policy, and I wish we may be permitted to pursue it. I was bold in the pursuit of knowledge, never fearing to follow truth and reason to whatever results they led, and bearding every authority which stood in their way. I would rather be exposed to the inconveniences attending too much liberty than those attending to small a degree of it. Were it left to me to decide whether we should have a government without newspapers, or newspapers without a government, I should not hesitate a moment to prefer the latter. It is error alone which needs the support of government. Truth can stand by itself. We never repent of having eaten too little. The earth belongs to the living, not to the dead. Errors of opinion may be tolerated where reason is left free to combat it. The boisterous sea of liberty is never without a wave. The glow of one warm thought is to me worth more than money. Leave all the afternoon for exercise and recreation, which are as necessary as reading. I will rather say more necessary, because health is worth more than learning. Commerce with all nations, alliance with none, should be our motto. Merchants have no country. The mere spot they stand on does not constitute so strong an attachment as that from which they draw their gains. I cannot live without books. There is not a truth existing which I fear, or would wish unknown to the whole world. One travels more usefully when alone, because he reflects more. Every government degenerates when trusted to the rulers of the people alone. The people themselves are its only safe depositories. To compel a man to furnish funds for the propagation of ideas he disbelieves and abhors is sinful and tyrannical. Fix reason firmly in her seat, and call to her tribunal every fact, every opinion. Question with boldness even the existence of a God. Because, if there be one, he must more approve of the homage of reason than that of blindfolded fear. Enlighten the people generally, and tyranny and oppressions of body and mind will vanish like evil spirits at the dawn of day.